Hopefully you're enjoying New Year's. Today is New Year's for you, although I'm recording this on Friday. Have a safe New Year's. Of course, I guess New Year's was tonight, really. But anyways, I hope you have a great New Year's. Hope you have a great 3-day weekend if you do get Monday off as well. Let's go ahead and not waste your time. Let's go ahead and dig into the video. So here we are looking at the agenda for today, and we just saw Dividend Mountain there. I haven't renamed it yet. It's Dividend / Fire Mountain. I'm not really sure what to call it, but for now we're still going to call it Dividend Mountain. As you can see, I actually added some numbers to Dividend Mountain as well. Kind of moved some stuff around because obviously there's some changes going forward with the portfolio. So I actually added 1.25 million to the number, and then going forward we may even need to adjust that to 1.5 as well as things progress, and there's some changes to the portfolio as well. So there's a lot of progress there, so that's good to see him progressing along. And let's go ahead and take a look at the overview here. So let's go ahead and look at, so here's the overview page here. And so this is the Fire Investment Portfolio Overview. There are some changes to this page here. So anybody that's bought my spreadsheet, it might look slightly different than this just because you have 1.08. So this is 1.09 beta here. I'm working on this page. I actually added support here for 3 accounts. And then probably in the future, I'll actually add another account there as well. So support for 4 accounts. So that's kind of cool. So right now as it stands, we have a Schwab taxable account, we have a Schwab Solo 401k account, we have a Fidelity 401k, and that will get rolled over into the IRA early next year or in the next few months or so. The IRA has already been opened up, and that's the reason why they're just showing $10,900 in that account, and the rest of it's just in free cash. I'm getting ready to roll that money out, so I've been taking it out of the investments. Hopefully we don't have a major run up in the early part of 2022 because I'll miss out on the upside, but it is what it is. So this Fire investment portfolio does not just encompass dividend paying stocks. All right, now obviously the Schwab taxable account here is mostly dividend paying stocks, but this portfolio is not just dividend paying stocks, right? These 2 accounts here have a different strategy, and I'm not just investing in dividend stocks in those particular accounts. I actually do quite a bit of options in those accounts as well. But so anyways, yeah, so in Fire, most of the income will be, I'll be living off of what's generated out of this particular account here, which is currently at this time $44,000 a year, and then the monthly income sits about $36.76. So let's see here, Fire days left, 105 days left until I call it quits and then go hike the Appalachian Trail, and which we'll talk about here just in a second as well. So it was an amazing year this year. Obviously the market, S&P 500 is up over 28% this year. My portfolio did quite well as well. I'm showing up only 8%, but I did harvest a lot of capital gains out of the portfolio this year as well. And kind of just made and juggled stuff around, took a lot of paper gains off. And unfortunately it's going to hurt me tax-wise this tax season, but I'm trying to just get things where they need to be for early retirement in 2022 and not have to worry about paying taxes too much in 2022, which obviously is going to be due in 2023. So I'm kind of just setting that up, right? All right, so I'm not going to spend much more time looking at this page here. If you want to pause the video and just kind of take in this particular spreadsheet page, you can. So let's go back to the actual agenda here, and that brings us to housekeeping. So let's go ahead and take a look at the spreadsheets here. So all days spreadsheets, Google spreadsheets featured in this video are available if you want them. See pinned comment or description. There is a discount code that I set up just for the 3-day weekend, so HFNY 2022, so that's Hidden Freedom New Year's 2022, and you can use that discount code that ends on Monday night, Mountain Standard Time at 12:59 p.m. That brings down to 3B, and roughly $450,000 and $375. So it's $450, $375 still left in real estate notes. So if we go back here, I do have about $451,000 in real estate notes that provides roughly $22,000 in income for me a year. So like I said, this is not just a dividend portfolio. I'm also getting that real estate note income that I'm living off of. Part of that money actually is in tax deferred account, but a big portion of it is also in the taxable account as well. So like I said, not just all this portfolio that I'm living off of is coming out of dividends, even though as those real estate notes get paid back, that gets reinvested back into dividend paying stocks or income ETFs. And that will continue to bleed off every single year, or if one gets paid back early and then going into the income ETFs, or even rolled out of the income ETFs into SCHD and eventually into possibly VTI or VU. So if you're interested about real estate notes, see my promissory note video, which I'll link up here if you're interested in it. All right, 3C here. Please support my second channel, Hidden Off Grid. So what am I going to be doing after I fire in April of 2022? Early retired in 2022, I will be hiking the Appalachian Trail in 2022. So if you're interested, I'd really appreciate if you could support that channel. The link is down in the description or the first pinned comment. Just go ahead and give me a subscribe down there for that channel as well. Dividend portfolio. All right, dividend increases. Look at the dividend increases for December of 2022. All right, we're looking at the portfolio here and scroll all the way over. And let's look at the actual dividend increases. I think there's just one for, let me see, December. Let's just scroll over a tad bit more here. And all right, there we go. Oops, scrolled over. All right, so we scroll up here and we can see, it looks like there's just one. So we had one dividend increase for December, and that is Realty Income there. We had a 4.66% increase on realty income, and I think that's like the fourth one this year. So it's really more than a 4.66% increase. So that's pretty darn good. And let's go ahead and just do an annual. Let's go ahead and update this to 2.96. That'll clear that flag there, and obviously that increase was pretty good. Let's see, we've got 5-year dividend CAGRs about 3.55, so that's pretty good. We had a lot of small increases this year, and I'm not going to really fault Realty Income. They did that little spin-off on O&L as well. I'm not really sure how I feel about that, and I know that Johnson & Johnson's gonna be doing the same thing, and I'm really not happy about that one. I know a lot of people aren't. It is what it is. They're gonna, spin off the pharma, if I'm not mistaken, which I always make a joke. They should have spun off the talcum powder, but we'll take it as it comes. Maybe I'll even dump Johnson & Johnson. I honestly really love Johnson & Johnson. It's really, probably the holding I take to my grave, but at this point, if they're gonna get if they're gonna spin off the best part of Johnson & Johnson, I just don't know how I feel about it. I gotta do a little more research on it. So, all right, now we've looked at the updates. Let's go back to the agenda here. Let's look at the sales for the month of December here. So here we are looking at the sales for the month of December, and like I said, those tax deferred accounts, I do different strategies in there, so this is a little misleading as well. I did sell 69 shares of the Qs, and that's just because I was day trading the Qs in there for a while, and because I'm actually set up in there to do cash secured puts against the Qs. So for now, yeah, I sold 69 shares. There is a little bit still left in the Qs in that account, but like I said, just take it as it is. I don't just do dividend paying stocks, and I just don't do a buy and hold on some things. That brings us to the buys of December, and here's the buys. So there's a little bit of misleading stuff here as well, because QYLD and XYLD did not get reinvested. So these are just showing the dividends received there. Those did not get reinvested. Maybe I should adjust that script to take that out going forward. But the Qs, like I said, I've been buying and selling those, just trying to churn those a little bit during the actual volatility of the market. I did buy JEPI, I did buy Devo, so that got reinvested from the actual notes that came in. So, and not to mention, I actually bought some JEPI and bought some Devo from the actual dividend being received, which is roughly about $3,500 a month from November, and then December was a larger month, which we'll talk about here in a second. So Qs, let's just churn in the tax deferred account. JEPI and Devo was actually reinvesting the dividends, not to mention some fresh capital that came into the market as well, or came into the portfolio as well. And now here we're looking at the dividends received for December, which is a record-breaking month for me, and destroyed, I don't know if it was destroyed, but it was pretty darn big compared to the rest of the months, and it really, this quarter was massive, and not to mention this whole year was massive. So we received a dividend on QYLD, we received a dividend on XYLD, we received a dividend on SO, JEPI, Johnson & Johnson, Microsoft, ExxonMobil, Chevron, SCHD, which is just being start to build out, and I think there's only one share in there. We got 3M, we got Realty Income, which is a monthly payer, we got McDonald's, Duke, Home Depot, Nusi, which came in yesterday, a few days late. We got $975 there, and then we got Devo that just came in today for $635, total of 16 dividends received for a total of $3,742. And this is one of those 4 times of the year where I get a lot of extra dividends because of all the individual stocks that pay out 4 times a year, the quarterly payouts. And so that means I have 4 payouts during the year that are a little bit bigger than the rest of the months. That brings us to the stock allocation here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the sector allocation. This is only taking into account the individuals paying stocks in my portfolio, which I really didn't even show you. So I'll go back to those so you can see them. You can pause the video if you want, but these are all the stocks in my portfolio at this time. I do have SHG up there. It's just starting to be built out. There's only 1 share in there. I got these Qs here, which I talked about, which is in 1 account, and I'm kind of churning the cash secured puts against that. And then here's all the individual paying stocks right here. Here's all the unrealized gains. You know, obviously Apple was massive for me, up 175% in Apple alone. Here is all of the income ETFs down at the bottom down here, and how much income it brings and all that. Like I said, you can pause the video if you want. The individual stocks basically sit at about $117,000. The ETFs sit at $583,000 at this time. And then I'm actually going to start rolling in the 401k from the Fidelity as well. That'll be another $400,000 at some point. That'll roll into this particular portfolio update as well. But right now, that's not actually showing up in this particular page. Here is the allocation. Consumer staples, 23.7%, a little heavy in there because it's pretty good. It's pretty defensive. Utilities, 4.3%. Financials, 7%. Healthcare, 11.6%. Material, 3%. We got, let's see, real estate 3.1, energy 4.8, industrial 7.9, consumer discretionary at 13.7, communication services, which is just AT&T, which has had a terrible year. And then we got information technology at 19.2%. Probably need to update this over here. This is actually SP 500 sector weighting. So I kind of try to keep it close to that as much as I can. Obviously, I'm off a little bit. We'll scroll down a little bit here. Here is the dividend portfolio income by sector. You can pause the video if we want to look at that. We'll scroll down here. So this is dividend portfolio yield by sector. There's the yield by sector there. We'll scroll down a little bit here. Here's the ticker by portfolio value. Somebody wanted me to show this information, so there it is right there. It's not showing all these smaller ones up here because they're just turned too small, so we're showing obviously the largest positions in the portfolio by ticker, and the biggest position at this point is Devo, the second largest is JEPI, and the third largest is Nusi. If you want to get a little bit more information about my strategy, look at this video up here. And it's going to talk about my complete strategy. There may be slight changes to that strategy going forward, but not too much. But in general, it gives you a good idea of my strategy and what I'm going to be doing going forward. All right, we've looked at the dividend portfolio, the dividend increases, the sells, the buys and adds. We look at the stock allocations. We looked at the dividends received for December as well. Let's go ahead and run the script to update the dividends in the portfolio. So what we're going to update here is we're going to update this chart or actually just December right here. We're going to write all the dividends across that line right there, and then update the dividend-o-meter, which is sitting right here. So 2021 dividends sit at $22,022 at this time, and we have a goal of roughly about $25,000 this year. Let's go ahead and run a script to update the actual Google Sheets here. So, all right, let's go ahead and run the script now.
Happy New Year's 2022.
All right, script is finished. We've updated the actual spreadsheet, and that should have wrote $3,742.70 across that line. We'll go back here and we'll look, and it looks like it did. So let's just check the end over here and make sure it shows as 3742.70, which it does. So that's good. We got 25,765 total for the year. It closes out that year. All these ones in red here I do not own anymore, and I did not sell any out of any position, so we don't need to turn anything new red. Going forward, these positions will not be in my portfolio, and I kind of already took them out for 2022 down here. So going forward, this is what's going to remain in the portfolio, and that should pretty much remain there. I don't really have any plans of taking anything out of there. Maybe XYLD, maybe QYLD, but I really don't know. Well, so all right. So now that we've updated all of those, we've closed out 2021. Let's go back to the charts here. We see 25,765. So we actually beat our goal just by a little bit. I got next year's goal set at $50,000, which my overall goal is I think $70-something thousand in dividend income. And it may be a while before I get there, maybe several years, but next year I should definitely probably take out 50,000, but that is the goal. So 2021 obviously dwarfs 2020 because I only had 7,200 in 2020, and then in 2019 I really wasn't even doing a dividend portfolio, but I still had $879 or $876. Scrolling down here, dividends by month. So here's the month of December. And we had 3742. That dwarfs November. That also dwarfs October by $700 of October, and then almost about $900 for November. Obviously, 2021 was a massive dividend paying year for me. 2022 should even be a lot larger than that. Not quite double, or maybe even double, who knows, we'll see. Then 2021, we've dwarfed 2020 as well, significantly because we just started the dividend portfolio in early 2020. Scrolling down, we see the dividends by quarter, and look at this, a massive quarter. $9,600 in dividends received, or if you want to call them distributions, because not everything is technically called a dividend, like XYLD, QYLD, and all the income ETFs might not be considered a dividend, but it doesn't matter, it's still income, right? So 2021, $9,600 received for Q4 of 2021. That dwarfs 2020 Q4 with $3,200. Literally almost actually does triple it, so that's pretty amazing. We increased our Q3 by about, I don't know, $3,000, so looks pretty good there. Let's look at the dividends by year. Here's the dividends by year. We already kind of looked at that, but we see it in graph form here, $765 compared to last year, $72.48. Dividend income by ticker. I'm not, like I said, I'll kind of scroll down here. You can just pause the video if you want to look at that. All right, we looked at the dividend metrics. Let's pop through the options income here, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time in this. People just don't like it for some reason, but it is what it is. So let's see here, cash secured put account, and let's just go into the options report here. We received almost $43,000 of income last year, or not last year, this whole year. So starting January through December, everything's in the books at this point. $43,000 of extra income that I generate from roughly about $300,000 account. And going forward, next year I actually lowered the expectations to roughly $24,000 to $36,000 just to be safe and be on the Appalachian Trail. I'm going to be doing more passive plays and all that. So the month of December I had $1,106 in capital of premium, even though it shows a loss of $42.90 because I took those Alibabas off. So it is what it is. Pretty darn amazing year. This is all I have on at this time. So I got a bunch of TQQQs on, I got a bunch of TNAs on. Really simplifying this. I'm not doing a lot of individual stuff anymore. And so that's all that's cooking at this time. And then we got the Schwab tax deferred account. So I just kind of do covered calls in there. If I get assigned, I'm kind of doing the wheel strategy. And then I will do some cash secured puts in that account against the Qs. Right now I have 2 of those on. I got it's roughly about a 15 delta or a 0.20 delta on the other one. But in the month of January, I actually brought in $817 doing cash secured puts, roughly about 10% down. I'm trying to actually get more aggressive in there because I actually don't mind owning the Qs in that account. So I've been doing a little bit more aggressive, like I said, a 0.15, a 0.20 delta. So here's kind of the strikes right here. Generated $817 in the month of December. That's real money, folks. And guess what? I don't even have to worry about paying taxes on that. And the last thing we're gonna look at here is we're gonna look at my Schwab account just so you can see what's in there. I'm going to show you all the positions. You can pause the video if you want to see. It should match very similar to what I have in Google Sheets as well. If you look in there, the numbers should pretty much match up. And then at the bottom here, there's the 2 puts I was talking about that I'm running against the Qs right now. Like I said, I actually am being more aggressive in that account because I don't mind being assigned the Qs. I want to try to remain fully invested as I can, but I actually want to get it at a 10% discount if I can as well. Still churning out anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a month by just running those. And so that's pretty, it's cool. I can wait around, but I'm still making money in there too. All right, scrolling up here, let's look at the actual income projections for January. Here is December 2021. The $668 was just Devo, which showed up today. They're going to update this later tonight, and I just can't wait around to make this video because I need to edit it and I need to render it and all that, and that takes several hours. So that will update later tonight. Let's look at let's look at the next 12 months though. So here is January 2022. They're projecting going to make $3,621. And then February is roughly about $3,690, and then March is one of those big months for me because all the individual stocks pay, and that's $3,786 for March of 2022. And then obviously the average across all of next year is about $3,600, almost $3,700 on the dot. They have my income at $44,396. I'm gonna continue to invest the first several months of the year into this portfolio. Not to mention I have some cash sitting on the sidelines as well. In that cash, I'll be living off of why I front load the 401k and all that, and then even when I hike the Appalachian Trail, I'll be living off that cash as well. So I don't really, everything's gonna get reinvested. All the dividends that come in will be reinvested right back in the portfolio to let it grow while I'm hiking the Appalachian Trail as well. So that's the amazing update for the month of December and all of 2021. I hope you had a fantastic 2021 and met all of your investing goals for the year. We had an amazing year overall. I do expect next year to be a little bit more challenging. Don't expect a 30% or 20% up year. We could have a 10 to 15%, who knows? We could have a flat year. But hopefully I do, kind of think that it should be a positive year. Just, play it by ear, I guess. Be, defensive, but depending on how much time you have left. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this update. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, leave a comment down below. If you like what I talked about in this video and want to watch my fire journey, go ahead and subscribe as well for future videos. We'll see you in 2022 going forward. Until next time, go ahead and have a great New Year. We'll see you next video. Thanks for watching.